Hello everybody, my name is Anton. Welcome to a brand new Let's Play series on Hearts of Iron for the Great War Mod Redux. So, we're going to be playing as Austria-Hungary. We played a handful of Great War campaigns in the past, and, you know, why not play as, let's just say one of the, how do you even phrase it, like one of the Runt litter, I guess? Let's go Bosnia, I'm sure nobody's going to get mad about this. So it's 1910, we've got about 4 years until the war begins. We are currently at 50 divisions. Germany has 125, so they're definitely the stronger power here, let's just put it that way. We have no ships, and we have 6 aircraft. Germany has 5 boats. Actually, nobody really has a lot of ships. Okay, that's fine then. So we're not actually lacking that far behind. We have 142 convoys, actually is not bad, but I will go for a little bit more. Let's go 4 in artillery, 3 in total artillery. Start making early fighters, start making some airship bombers. And with 3 more factories, we could get some armored cars. We could get some howitzers. I don't know what the difference is. So let's just start making some right now, because we might want them in the future. I guess the next 2 factories will throw them into infantry equipment as well. Seems decent enough. We can leave faction. We can refuse to surrender. Probably not going to do that. War propaganda, get our Army Navy experience. We don't really need to do any of these political actions. Research slots. What do we want? Probably... What's 1910 right now? We'll get you. We'll go for construction speed, followed up by resource efficiency gain. All those are pretty basic techs. So again, we have about 4 years until the war actually kicks off. We have a handful of civilian factories. So let's go put 2 more military factories in Lower Austria. Let's at least get all of my units together. Split them off. Let's say something like this seems okay. 12 divisions are going to be on the Serbian border. 18 divisions are going to be here. 20 divisions are going to be there. And any new troops will put on the Italian border, because Italy probably is going to be aligning themselves with the Entente. It would just be my guess. We'll put you in charge of this army. We can kind of have the game run in the background while we assign all of our leaders. We have 1 million manpower, which is pretty good. We're missing 7,000 rifles, which I think is not great. You are also a 12 combat width, which is horrible. Like, that's so bad. Let's make you into... We could put the howitzer then. It's a very big boost to their soft attack. Yeah, so let's throw in 1 howitzer. 2 howitzers. Yeah, you know what? I think that's actually kind of okay. We're going to need about 2,000 of them. But can we get 2,000 in the next 4 years? I think it's possible. So let's save this. We'll duplicate you with some basic infantry divisions. And yes, yeah, so we'll at least get some of you guys going. Let's just say 5 divisions for now seems okay. So rifles. Okay, so our howitzers will be done in about 49,000 days. Okay, fantastic. Artillery will be done in 126 days. Rifle will be ready in about 2 years. Support equipment by about 3 years. I mean, 3 years is still fine. Like, we are not going to be at war then. So, as long as we're not at war, we should be mostly okay. So let's go 1 and 1. We do want some tungsten. We'll get that from... Actually, do I have any neighbors? We can get it from Germany. You know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. We'll trade with our alliance partner. There is, I think, a chance that Italy just join our faction. If that's the case, and that's, of course, the best case scenario for us. And let's get some planning bonuses here. So yeah, you're going to attack your way into Serbia. You guys are going to push your work towards Kiev. And Purple Army, I think your job basically is just take over Poland. I think it makes just the most amount of sense. We got a Comet. Thank you for the 1% stability boost. The South Africa Act, which I don't care about too much. So you are in alliance with French Indochina. How many troops do you guys have? Somewhere between 109 and 213. France is a pretty large army as well. Strength and dualism. You're all like just military tech. I mean, we could actually, wouldn't we mind going down some civilian tech as well? After your stability plus 10%, more democracy. I wouldn't mind. You know, actually, what do I want to do for Austria? You get the national question. Damage towards garrison goes down. Foreign subversion activity goes down. Slovenian Home Guard. Czech Parliament. So you're more about just completely banning everybody. Which I don't think is in our best interest. We might actually just go for the democratic side then. Get a little more stability. I don't know what you do. You might give them to roll. Which seems like it could be bad. You were giving autonomy to Croatia, which again, also seems bad. Because I kind of don't want to give up any territory. So I'm actually not too sure. Yeah, you're kind of decentralizing the empire, which is like not what I want to do. So you know what? Let's actually go down the industry tech. At least for right now. I think it seems like a completely reasonable thing to do. We are about a year or so away from Italy and the Balkan nations trying to take a bite out of the Ottoman Empire. Do we actually know when roughly that's going to happen? Like, I don't know if it's in their tree at all. I mean, it looks like they can do it right away. Balkan League cannot do that. Okay, they need to have enough manpower on the field, which I guess it makes sense. Man Macedonia, attack Albania. Most of this stuff, I mean, it makes a decent amount of sense. 20 years of peace. I don't know if it's really been 20 years, seeing as about 10 years ago, you were at war with the Japanese. Actually, no, 5 years ago, you were at war with the Japanese. So, I'm not too sure if that's exactly the truth. China will probably end up breaking apart very, very soon. I think 1911 is when the Chinese Republic is formed, if I remember correctly. Where are my aircraft? They're over here, which I guess actually is not a bad place for them. Just crank you each to be at 100. It should be fine, basically. And if we can have the most powerful air force, I think that could definitely be beneficial. I think we want to go for, let's say, 3 on basic howitzers. And hopefully we're at least making these builds. Yeah, 8,000 days, definitely better than the 49,000 we were at before. Still not great. You know, we would definitely want to improve the situation at some point in the future. Do you like us, Italy? Guarantee, same ruling party. I mean, that's all nice. Actually, what are our modifiers? I didn't actually check. So, Polish separatism, which is a stability loss. South Slavic terrorists, which is a stability loss. Czech parliament, stability loss. Hungarian opposition, political power loss. Yeah, so actually, no, this is all bad. Which of course is not good. Bad things are not good. You've heard it here first. So do you want to suppress them then? 25,000 manpower. We do get 2,500 rifles, which is not bad. Influence in the Balkans, claim on Serbia. Intervention. I don't actually know. But I don't think attacking, yeah, you basically stop being the Austrian Empire. Or Austro-Hungarian Empire. So I think right now we're just going to go for more factories. Let's get 4 civilian factories out of you. That'll be quite nice. Like, I think there definitely is the argument to go towards the more democratic side of things. Yeah, let's go for the factory output. But, like, again, I don't really like either choice. Mostly claim of Venetio. We can go to war with Italy, like, right away. And how does that play out? I don't really know. Ukraine's puppets focuses on Romania and Bulgaria. Like, does that make sense? More steel's not bad. But mostly, I don't want to give I don't want to give any of these people more power. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to release a bunch of territory out of the Austro-Hungary. Because that seems bad. At least bad for our long-term goals. So, like, again, I'm just, like, not too sure what the right option is. We could get some synthetic oil. Your 1912 tech, your 1914 tech, you're way ahead of time. Could go Spear Firepower. I see, no. Get the artillery upgrades. Next level Howitzer doesn't become available until 1914. We could go for better... No, okay, that's also 1914 tech. Here's the problem with a lot of, like, the Great War mods, is that most of the techs don't come available until, like, 1914. It's only 1910. So we still, yeah, we got, like, 3.5 years till most of our better tech becomes available. There's been a revolution in Portugal. That is fine. Just trying to... Like, what else happens around the world in the early 1910s? There's going to be a crisis over Morocco between France and Germany. I know that's a thing that did happen. What else actually? We have an extra research slot. Czech steel. Get some stuff from Hungary. Yeah, let's get some development in Vienna. I think we really just want to try to boost our economy up as much as we can. We could get some trenches. We also have basic trenches on the Italian border, actually. I mean, are they cheap? 800? They're actually not that cheap. Let's just build trenches all along our fronts with Russia as well. Even though I don't expect these fronts to really last for that long. Build one against Serbia. There we go. I still think it makes, like, a decent amount of sense. Just, like, passively get these upgrades going. A little bit more defense. Never hurt anybody. Do we have, we do have some military staff. I mean, the options are quite limited, unfortunately. But that's not a major surprise. I do think right now we do outnumber the Russians on this front line, but a lot of our troops are unsurprisingly quite weak. I mean, 3,000, that's still about, what, 10 years, roughly? Which is not great. But we're going to have a ton of howitzers on the field. When the time comes, we are going to be stacked. What do you want to research next? Okay, your 1914. Your land forts upgrades. The synthetic oil, like, it's an option for us. Yeah, we could get motorized divisions. Yeah, I guess we just research motorized now. I'm not too sure what we're really going to be using them for. I mean, we could just build some truck divisions, have them try to make some breakthroughs into either Russia or into any of the Balkan countries, like Romania, Montenegro, and Serbia, and Greece. They will probably all join the Entente. Bulgaria will join our side. The Ottomans will join our side. And aside from that, is there anybody else we need to really be worried about? I don't think so. I mean, the United States, they might end up joining the war at some point. Mexico's probably going to be having some civil wars or something soon. But again, that's kind of okay. We're fine with civil wars. As long as they're not happening in Austria-Hungary. If they're happening anywhere else in the world, that's okay. As long as they're not screwing anything I'm doing up. We get 3 military factories, which is, again, quite good. Siege of Sydney Street. That's fine. How many troops does the British have? Because you're not in a faction quite yet. I'm assuming that the United Kingdom... Pax Britannia, engage in colonial or continental affairs. Here's, like, the weird thing about how the AI... I mean, we're actually... Are we at more than 1%? Yeah, we're actually at 9. So, what are you currently doing? You're doing some Industrial Revolution stuff. I kind of want Britain to, God save the king. I mean, if Britain just does not join the war, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Good working conditions gives us a little bit more stability. I mean, we do need more stability. I'll give them that. You can ban parties. But I don't think there's a reason to do that. We're going to lose some stability, and, like, what's the point? I think we basically just save our political power to get as many military staff and, like, kind of governors as we can possibly get. Also, I have 2 researches that I have not been using. I apologize for not seeing that. I mean, we could get scout planes. We already got our bombers. I mean, I guess we'll research scout planes as well. Like, yeah, I guess there's no real there's no problem doing that. And our Air Force continues to grow. We now have the world's strongest Air Force. The other countries in Europe just don't know how important aircraft are going to be in the war. Honestly, let's just get more howitzers. And a little bit more steel from our German allies. Follow that up with... I mean, extra research slot's not bad. Yeah, let's get an extra research slot. Follow that up with military build-up in Hungary. Yeah, more military factories out of that. I mean, actually, or do we want civilian factories? Because that's kind of like the interesting thing, is I typically don't ever build civilian factories. So maybe this actually makes sense. And we can only blockade Serbia if we do the civilian industry. If you do military, we cannot blockade them. We get some aluminum. Getting the steel will be nice. And we can only get you done if we're actually at war. Get some land forts in Galicia and Istria. Not so important, I think. Also, getting some military tech would not be a bad idea as well. Because since we're going to be researching, I think, a lot of things ahead of time. What other research do we have? Because you're going to be done. You're done now, actually. Fantastic. I always forget how quickly mods run that are not Kaiserreich. It's already been like an in-game year, I think. In just one episode, which is quite nice. You have some techs here. You're all so far ahead of time. But I think at this point, we've already kind of researched everything we can that is not ahead of time. Like, I don't think there's any technologies that we actually would want that haven't already been taken. I mean, we could actually, I guess, go for an air doctrine. Fighter detection, operational integrity. Strategic destruction? Actually, let me just actually double check. You don't ground support, right? No, you're just strategic bombing. You also don't provide any ground support. So, seeing as we're probably not going to get ground support, your naval attack. Which one of you... Yes, some ground attack. You have no ground attack, right? No. You have a little bit. No, you're a close air support. Okay. If you're a close air support, I actually want to research you as early as possible, honestly. Yeah, let's go for strategic destruction then. It probably actually is the best option for us, given the circumstances. So when you are done, do I try to just research some aircraft right away? Get 30 aircraft for free, airbase. They're both basically garbage. I guess maybe I just try to get like a research bonus as fast as possible and utilize that to research some close air support. Do you actually have a bonus there? Fighters, fighter model. I mean, it is all the way down here. I mean, you're not a tactical bomber, right? I'm pretty sure it's not. Or at least I'm hoping it's not. So you know what? Let's actually get those research bonuses now. Because again, we're going to be so ahead of time on so many of our researches that I think it really is the only thing that actually makes a ton of sense. So we're already researching you. Naval Doctrine, I think, is basically meaningless. We'll go for... I'll say we'll get... No, we've already got landing transports. Okay, then we actually don't have to worry about anything else. We'll actually go for the 1914 artillery. Very, very expensive, but why not research it, right? Ideology. Military construction speed goes up, not bad. Like a power gain. You're just free stability. I mean, stability seems nice. No, you're 15%. Let's get Sigmund Freed in charge of here. Yeah, 180 political power. He's a little bit expensive, but that 15% stability is definitely, I think, going to help us out. It's going to give us way more factory output. Which is definitely going to be better than just some construction speed. So how many power? We're getting 0.35, which is not great, I will admit. I mean, we still got the Hungarian opposition, but, like, Hungary is just going to be a little bit annoying for the rest of the time. So I think we can kind of, not safely ignore them, but their thoughts don't matter as much. How many guns do we need? We've almost done reinforcing everybody on the front lines, which is nice. As you can see, our units are getting back up to strength. The howitzers are still having a bit of a problem. Can I actually build air bases? I can. We only have one airport in the country, so yeah, let's build you up to level 2. Or up at level 3. We'll get you up to level 3 and we'll get... Not you. Build them, like, right here in Slovenia. A little bit off the front line actually makes the most amount of sense. Just so they're not captured right away. Trying to build a ton of trench works, but that's fine. We've been on the 17th of July. What? I mean, do you affect construction speed as well? No, it's just dockyard and factory output. Which is not nothing. Also, how is... I mean, there's no resistance in the country at all, which I think is quite nice. But, for the time being, I think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Answim. If you enjoyed, run a thumbs up. If not enjoyed, click some down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.